You are listening to the We Hired a Sitter for This podcast.
We hired a sitter for this.
We have a roster of like 7 sitters.
I hate authority, but I'm a mom.
I'm an old man. I need orthopedic shoes.
The laughs, the chuckles, the TMI.
Some people might say, why would you have kids? The oceans are rising. The economy's collapsing.
And they're not wrong. I'm Ross.
And I'm Patrick.
And we hired a sitter.
Hi, folks. It is We Hired a Sitter for This, and I didn't hire hair and makeup for this episode, so I'm going to do my hair right now while I talk and stare at myself in the camera. Is this going to be a good episode? Probably not. We don't have a sitter today. It is spring break. Our child is not in school, so my wife has her at a play place right now. While I head out to work, I only have maybe 10 minutes to say a few things right now. I want to make sure we get an episode out every Wednesday. I don't know why it's important to me. It just satisfied some kind of OCD itch. It's a scratch that needs to be itched. Consistency feels important. And we've got these viewers just clamoring for content. They are clamoring. They cannot stop emailing, texting, tweeting, Instagramming, DMing. They're communicating around the clock. They need the episodes on time. And especially now that we have patrons on the Patreon, they really want the bonus content. So I've got to sit here for the next 10, maybe I'll do 15 minutes if I'm feeling brave. I got to be somewhere in an hour. I'm going to be late, but I just got to say a few things. Number one is April 22nd. That is a week from right now. Today's the 15th, Tuesday, April 15th. This comes out Wednesday, April 16th. April 22nd, the special comes out. It's called Qualification. You must buy or rent it to see it on any streaming platform where you can buy or rent stuff. It'll be on there. Please do. I will get some of that money. And it's the best way to support the arts, to buy or rent people's stuff. It will eventually be free online, but I think it will be months and months and months before that happens. So for the next 3 months, you have to buy or rent it if you want to see it. I'm pretty proud of it. I don't know. I keep talking about it on different podcasts, and I'm like, sometimes I'm talking about it, I'm like, yeah, this was great. I'm so proud I did this thing. And then other times I'm like, wait, was this a mistake to do it the way I did it? So I don't know. You be the judge, but keep it to yourself, whatever your judgment is. I'm not interested. Can you tell I'm in a great mood? No, please do. It would mean a lot to me if you bought it. If we're close family members, watch at your own risk and don't judge me for it. I had this interesting experience this week where I did a podcast. It's called Troublemakers. We really funny guys. These guys, Dylan and Dominic. I've known both of them for a long time. I did Dylan's comedy show in Boston when he was running Hideout Comedy on Faneuil Hall. My hair is really distracting. And Dominic, I've known from open mics since I started, and they're both just so funny, and they do this podcast called Troublemakers, which is 3 dudes in a room podcasting, and it definitely devolved into locker room talk. And when I am in the mood to be pervy or twisted or whatever, I sometimes just say too much, and I really cut loose. And they, so many podcasters, the whole point of doing it is so that we can clip things up and then have things out in the world that people can laugh at and show people we're funny. And I don't know, it's entertainment. I won't get into the nitty gritty of whatever. But anyway, they made a couple clips of some of my interactions with them. And man, I am a pig sometimes. What is my problem? Why do I have to be so pervy? And I have this hang up of like, do I share these clips? They worked hard on making them. Their edits are funnier than my edits for this show. I'm like, somebody, and I know what it takes to make these clips. So I feel this pressure to, it's called accepting the collaboration or whatever on Instagram, where you like, if you become a collaborator on the clip, then it's on your feed and more people will see it. And these 2 clips they made, I can't bring myself to accept the collaboration because I'm like, I don't know if I need the people in my life to hear me talking like this. So I guess I'm saying here on this podcast that if you're interested in hearing me be a total piggish 14-year-old boy sense of humor, check out the Troublemakers podcast. And I don't know. You tell me if I should just share those clips around proudly. Just be I mean, I guess that is one of the arguments for comedians in general, is like, be loud and proud about who you are and what you think is funny. Don't tell anybody you can't say something. It's but I guess I'm censoring myself. So it's just about what I want out there. Whatever. Anyway, fellas, I loved doing the podcast. I really did have a good time. And I think those moments are funny. I just don't know if I want them like preserved on my feed in this way. Cause I get likes from my kids' school. Like whoever's doing their social media will like my stuff sometimes. And I'm like, oh, I don't need a school administrator seeing this stuff. Anyway, so that's one topic I didn't expect to talk about, but here we are. I will say I was at the playground yesterday and had a really intense kind of a confrontation with a group of people that came out of nowhere. So there's this thing that happens in our playground. There's so many people. The weather's nice. Everybody's out. I've got my kid on the swing set. I'm pushing her. And there's another guy I've seen around for a couple years now. He's got somebody similar in age to our kid. He's pushing his kid. And then there's some 11, 12, maybe 13-year-old boys kicking a soccer ball like right behind us in the swing set area. It's fenced in. And they are just wailing this ball at each other, just nailing it. Like they're not playing competitive soccer. They're kicking it at each other, trying to hurt each other like 13-year-olds do, you know? Maybe they were 12. That's a lot of my shame comes from how young these kids are, but they weren't children. They were old. I don't know. They're old enough to know that's not a great place to be playing. Anyway, at one point, one of them line drives the ball into the guy that I've recognized, this other dad. And I don't want to say his name, but he gets hit in the shoulder, and I think it hit him in the side of the head. And that's almost happened to me several times in the past. And it makes me so angry when people are just rifling these balls back and forth. And because there's little kids that could get hit and really hurt if they got nailed in the face, you know, so anyway, I kind of kept glaring at the kids. This is going on for like 15 minutes. And when the guy gets hit, he shouts at them. He's like, I think the words out of his mouth were, Jesus Christ, what the fuck, I think is what he said. And I would have said the same thing. If I got hit, you can't control what comes out of your mouth at that point, you know, but it's in front of all these little kids on the swings, but I was on his side. I was like, yeah, that sucks. But I also gave him the courtesy of like ignoring and pretending I didn't hear any of it, because I feel like in that situation, it's embarrassing to curse and raise your voice at kids and whatever. So I move on, and then they just I think the guy said to them, you guys got to keep it on the ground. You shouldn't be playing in here, whatever. And they just didn't acknowledge or respect anything he said. They kept nailing the ball back and forth. And then it did hit my kid's friend, not super hard, but she said it hurt her. And then they just kept kicking like toward the kids. I think they were doing a separate piece, accidental, on purpose, psychological warfare thing where it's like they wanted to see how far they could push it. And finally, it just really bugged me. So I went over there and I said, hey guys, if it happens again, if the ball comes to me, I'm kicking it into the street, and I can do it. I have a good punt. I started bragging about my skills at punting. And by the way, we're in a swing set that's fenced in, but that's within a bigger park. So outside the playground is a walking path, and then there's trees and a lawn, and then the main fence around the whole park, which is the city block. And that's probably 100 feet away. So I am totally threatening to punt this soccer ball into a main avenue of Brooklyn is the threat that I've laid down. They kind of talk back to me, or like they sort of like were so like dismissive that pissed me off. And I was like, no, seriously, why are you guys going to keep staying here? Like, why are you playing in here? This is a swing set area. There's little kids. There's an empty grass field right there. There's a lawn right outside where we are. I was like, why can't you go out there? And they just kept like avoiding the questions. And there was like a vibe where they wanted to fight, and they kept kicking as we're talking. And I was just like, and I just started saying these things that I'm like, why am I getting involved with this? And I really wanted to pick up the ball and punt it. I was just so pissed. And at one point I said, he said, I can't leave. My mom's watching me. I was like, oh, your mommy is babysitting. She's watching you from somewhere. So she knows you can't go out there because mommy will get mad. And then he's like, yeah, I can't. And I was like, well, you can't play soccer in here. You gotta go somewhere else. And he's like, well, I'm practicing. And I'm like, not enough, because you don't have good accuracy. I see you kicking this thing all over the place. It doesn't go who you want it to go to. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm trying to learn how to play soccer. I was like, yeah, you got to try harder. And I just get into it with this kid. And then one of them earlier had dropped his entire ice cream cone on the rubber matting in this area. And I'm like, also, you guys make a mess. This is your park. I should make you clean. I think I said, I should make you clean this up. And I'm like, as I'm saying these things, I'm like, this is not good. I got to get out of here. I'm going to say or do something I can't take back. At one point, so this is how you'll know how old these three kids are. At one point, one of them made like an ice joke. He was like, yo, ICE is going to come get us, or ICE came to my house. Something about ICE, and because these are all young Latino kids, boys, and one of them made that joke, and then I was just like, what am I doing? I sort of zoom out, and I realize I'm a white guy, and also the guy that got hit, he was next to me. Like, we were both sort of talking to them at the same time. I was doing most of the talking. He was more reasonable. He was like, guys, you just shouldn't be playing in here. Like, take it out there, you know? But anyway, I sort of realized we're two white men talking at these three young Latino boys. And I was just like, I almost just grabbed my kid off the swing and said, let's just go. Because at that point, my kid and her new friend felt empowered by seeing me like trying to like control the situation. So they start just engaging with the boys, which is what the boys wanted. They wanted the girls to engage with them so that they, whatever. And it was just going to get ugly. So I just said to her, I was like, can we go play on the slide or whatever? And she, thank God she said yes. Cause then we left, cause I was pushing her for a little longer on the swing after the main confrontation. And I did notice some other parents like kind of glaring at me. And I realized, oh, like, not everybody knows the full context of what just happened here. So I better get out of here before this gets really bad. So I don't know. I guess that's just an anecdote of the chaos of parenting in a city with lots of people, lots of personalities, keeping your cool. I'm glad I didn't say anything I didn't do anything illegal. I didn't do anything physical. Thank God the ball didn't come to me when I was really boiling. And then I saw the guy later who did get hit. I saw him in another part of the playground, and I like connected with it. I like made eyes at him, and I was like, hey, you got a second? And I was like, hey, I just want to say, like, I'm not proud of how I talked to those kids. I hope that didn't make you uncomfortable. I don't want to be like that here at this playground. Like, this is... And he was like, yeah, it's their space, you know, and, but then we did like commiserate about how annoying that was that those kids were doing that. So just a couple of dads like processing in public, and it was, I don't know, it was really annoying is really what it was. But thank God it didn't get ugly in any real way. But you can see how it happens. You know, you can see how people end up on the internet for doing something, for things escalating, you know, because the kids, those three boys had no interest in finding common ground and compromise. So I guess it really felt like at a certain point, like, I gotta walk away, because this is, you're negotiating with terrorists, you know. The rules of logic do not apply to these people. Anyway, gotta keep it short. That'll be today's episode. Ross and I are going to record a full episode late tomorrow when we get back to, we got a lot of logistics. I'm sure we're going to share them on that episode, but yeah, thanks again. Please do make plans. If you do want to support my comedy, make plans to download or buy or rent the special when it comes out. Tell a friend about it. All the stuff. This feels like a big step in my career. Who knows what's going to happen? Oh, I guess I should mention Binghamton. I will be doing headlining shows Friday and Saturday night. Friday night at the Crooked Mouth Brewery in Endicott, New York. And then Saturday is the Don't Tell Binghamton area show. I don't know where that is. I also don't know that I'm supposed to say I'm the one headlining it. But yeah, I'll be headlining 2 nights in a row in the Binghamton area. Please do come out. It's going to be a great time. And thanks for listening.